Hi, welcome back to the garden. We have this bed outside our house, which we have been planning to turn into a succulent bed, mostly because we want it to look kind of awesome all year round. This one has a lot of perennials that kind of don't look great in winter, but we weren't planning to do that yet. We were planning to do that next year. However, we have to dig down to install a pipe of some kind, and since we have to do that, we knew that most of the plants that were in here might get like destroyed, or like you can probably see already that there's like a bunch of bulbs coming up, there's a bunch of perennials. It's actually a pretty full bed. So although it's not the best time of year to do it, the ground is still soft, so I can dig these plants up. So the plan today is to dig everything up and transplant it, or if I don't have a home for it yet, just like put it in a pot and then figure something out for later. Some of the like lilies and stuff, like those are just like bulbs, so I can dig them up and put them straight in the ground. And the ones that are already blooming, I'll see, I might add the crocuses to the bulb lawn, or maybe put them in like little display pots because they look super cute. Okay, there's still some more things to dig up, mostly bulbs and the clematis right at the end, but I wanted to show you what we actually dug up already because some of it's pretty cool. So I had planted 3 of these lilies, I want to say like 4 years ago. I think it was like 2020, and they've multiplied profusely. So I don't know if one this size will bloom. Maybe it will, but just like maybe 1 or 2 blooms. Some of the big ones can have like 13 blooms, I've counted. And then what's awesome with these is that along the bottom of the stem, you can see these little like bulblets, and those become more bulbs eventually. So they're kind of like all along a bunch of them. So I was thinking of planting them into Moosey's garden, which is like the color palette is kind of warm, like yellow, orange, red, into like kind of the black, almost black, purples and plums. So anyway, I think they'll look pretty awesome. And it's cool how many little ones there are. And even if they take a few years to actually get big enough to bloom, like, you know, we've got plenty of time. And then these crocuses here, I thought it was wild how long their stems are. Like these were planted like at least 8 inches deep. And so we have a whole bucket of bulbs that we dug up, which have yet to bloom. Some of them may not survive the transplant, but the ones that do, I'm sure will look awesome. And then we have a pile of ones that were already kind of blooming. So those ones, I think we'll just put in a little pot. And then over here, there's a pile of forget-me-nots. And then this is the obsidian dahlia, which I put in 2 years ago. So it spent last year and I guess this winter and last winter in the ground. And some of these bulbs are like enormous. So I think I'm gonna clean that up and maybe divide it a little bit before I plant it. So I might end up planting that out in the spring instead. And then over here, this one is, I think cyananthus or something like that, California lilac. So it has a pretty decent root system. A bunch of them have little like tag-along bulbs, but that's fine. This one here, there's a few different Helenium salsa or salsa mariachi. It's like a deep red one. So I have 3 different clumps of them. So I'll probably plant those all together because they'll make a nice little patch. This one's a hollyhock. It's almost black as well. So I think that one might also go into Moosey's garden, as well as this columbine. It's, I think, a European one, and it's also kind of like an almost black color. This is the little rose patch. So these roses were always really unhappy, and it looks like it might be like 3 different plants all kind of clumped together. So I don't know if that was part of the problem. So I might separate them a little bit because they have pretty flowers. So hopefully in a place that they'll do better, they'll give us more flowers. And then this one is the giant coreopsis, and it has a bunch of like tag-along bulbs. So I think this will just go in like a big hole in the ground altogether. These ones have red and yellow flowers, and the foliage is really pretty. It's almost like dill or something. I can hear them fluttering. Okay, so we're all done. It was kind of a lot of work. I'll show you what the bed looks like in a minute because it's kind of a mess. But everybody's been planted away. So the roses and the clematis I ended up putting in pots, as well as all the bulbs that were already blooming. We just made like a little arrangement. And then all the other ones we placed in here. I had a hosta and also this fern. So I basically just started like lying them along the edge, and then Lewis helped me backfill it. So I'm not sure how many of those will actually bloom this year. They may not be super happy about what we just did to them, but I think most of them will bloom next year, so that's cool. And then the California lilac I planted in the hedge. There was also a hydrangea in there that I'd kind of forgotten about, so I put that away too. And yeah, anyway, so everybody's all set now. The only thing I need to do is go around and water everybody because we're not expecting rain for the next couple of days. And especially like around the bulbs and stuff, I want the soil to kind of settle in around the roots. Yeah, but there we go. So now we have the empty bed, we can do the work, and then when we're ready, we can start planning the succulent bed for there. And I'll keep you posted on all the things that we planted around the garden as they come up. I'm sure I'll do a tour at some point and show you how they're doing. So thanks for coming along, and I'll catch you next time.